folks, I'm Papa Boris, and in this video I'm going to show you how to play 20 Minutes Till Dawn. In case you're not familiar, this is a game in the Survivors genre, although personally, while I respect the original Vampire Survivors, I actually like this one more than that game, and it's definitely my favorite of all the Survivors clones. Let's go ahead and jump in. At the beginning of a run, you choose a character, although you don't actually start with all these characters unlocked. I believe when you download the game, you just have Shayna, and then you can unlock other characters by spending meta currency, which you get when you finish a run. The farther you get, and just the better you do during the run, the more of this currency that you get, and the more that you then have to spend to unlock these characters. We'll go ahead and do the original Shayna, which is what you would start with when you begin the game. After choosing a character, you also choose a weapon, and one of the cool things about this game is that all the weapons play really differently from each other, so there's a lot of replay value to this game. At the beginning, of course, you just have this revolver, and you need to unlock the others by spending the meta currency. So you kind of have to choose how you want to spend your meta currency. Eventually, of course, you'll unlock everything, but in the short term, you can decide, do I want more characters, or do I want more guns? The guns all behave differently, and the characters each have different bonuses, like Shayna gets rerolls, Scarlet shoots fire waves, Spark does some lightning damage, and so forth. Some characters, I forget which ones, you don't actually unlock by paying currency, you unlock by acquiring a certain condition, typically beating a certain level of the game, but you can find that out when you go into it. The final thing I'll mention here as far as starting goes is that there are these runes up here. Another way that you can spend your meta currency is by purchasing runes. And the way that this works is that there are a total of 8 sections. There we go, 8 sections. Each of these little triplets is a section. And you can have one of the 3 bonuses in a section active at any time. And you have to pay the meta currency in order to unlock them. Since I've played this game a lot, I've already unlocked everything up to the maximum level, but you can only have one selected. So if I select this one, I can't select that one, and so forth. So you get to choose an upgrade in each of these sections, provided of course that you've unlocked it. For the purpose of this video, I'm gonna be playing as if you just started a fresh file. I'm not gonna have any upgrades on, just like we were playing at the beginning. There's also Darkness. This is this game's version of New Game Plus. It goes all the way up to 15. You unlock each subsequent one by beating the one before it. I'll be playing on Darkness 0 for the purpose of this guide. In fact, we're actually not going to be doing a whole run, so we'll just keep it as if you just started the game for the first time. All right, let's play. We'll go ahead and do the forest. The other maps are unlocked as you play. I forget how, but the forest is the default map, and it's the one I'm going to be using for all of my guide videos. So there's a lot of similarities to Vampire Survivors. You're a character, you're trying to survive for 20 minutes, not like 30 in Vampire Survivors. And when enemies die, they leave these little orbs, and the orbs are experience. Collect enough experience, and you level up. When you level up, you get an upgrade, which we'll talk about hopefully in just a little bit. And you get stronger, which enables you to take on harder enemies, which is important because the enemies get quite a bit harder and quite a bit more numerous as the game goes along. Now, the upgrade system in this game is very interesting, so it's a little different from Vampire Survivors. When you level up, you're given a choice of 5 different upgrades. Each upgrade that you get on your first level up will be the beginning of an upgrade tree. So let's take a look, for example, at this one here, Vitality. If you want to inspect the tree, you can actually hover your mouse over it. Basically, once you get the first upgrade in a tree, which is always this top one, the next 2, the one to the left of it and the one to the right, are, let's call it, added to the pool. The pool meaning all the possible upgrades that you could get when you level up. So if I were to take this Vitality upgrade right now, which would increase my max HP by 1, then in the future I could get this rolled on my upgrade screen, or this, or I could even potentially get both of them rolled among my 5 upgrades. If you get either one of the 2 in the second level, then the final upgrade, which is often very strong, gets added to the pool. So we'll go ahead and grab this lightning upgrade. Every second shot, call down lightning to strike nearby enemy for 22 damage. This then unlocks the ability to summon this lightning bug, which once you get it is a passive. You don't have to actually do anything with it, just periodically lightnings the enemies. It gives me a chance to get this energized upgrade, which makes it so that when you do lightning an enemy, there's a small percent chance of refilling some of your ammo. And then if you get either one of these, then that opens up Electro Mastery, which makes lightning do more damage and in a bigger area. Because I'm playing as Shayna, I also have the option to reroll upgrades. This is one of the weird things about the game. Personally, I don't think it makes sense that the starting character has this upgrade, because as a new player, you're not going to really know when you should be rerolling and when you shouldn't be. So I did find that kind of strange, but that's only here because I'm playing as that character. With other characters, this wouldn't be here. You'd have some other bonus. And of course, I kind of buried the lead a little bit here. The main difference between this and Vampire Survivors is that this is not a passive game. You use your mouse to aim your reticule, which you shoot the enemies with, and your gun has a certain number of bullets. You can see this pistol has 6 bullets, and as I shoot, the ammo counts down. And then you either just get down to the end and it reloads automatically, or you can press a button to reroll. It starts with R, which I find kind of awkward because you move with WASD, so I remapped the reload to be spacebar. Okay, here, let's go ahead and grab a move speed bonus, so we shoot a little bit faster and we move a little bit faster. And now, as we move around, we are shooting a little bit faster. We're faster moving around. And we're also shooting lightning, which helps mop up some of the enemies that are in the vicinity. One thing to note, well, since I took the movement upgrade, is that in this game, you actually have 2 different speeds. There's your run speed, and there's your walk speed. Your run speed is how fast you move when you aren't shooting, and your walk speed is how fast you move when you are shooting. So as I move, I click the button to shoot, and then I slow down. I'm not gonna go too much further with this video. We'll cancel this in just a second and then start another run. Here, let's actually grab this walk speed bonus. So now, when I walk, which is how fast I move when I'm shooting, I move at basically the same speed as when I run, which makes it a lot easier to move around and shoot at the same time. Now, I'll just mention briefly before we cancel this that you can click down on the mouse button and shoot continuously. So I can just keep the mouse button pressed. Let's go ahead and grab this energized bonus so I have a chance of refilling ammo every time lightning strikes. So you can hold down your mouse button continuously. You never actually have to let go of the mouse button if you don't want to. So there is a nice quality of life aspect to it. You don't have to shoot everything manually, but you can if you want to have the control. You can shoot and reload whenever you want. This game has mini bosses, which are like big enemies that take a little while to kill, and it also has bosses, which are very challenging enemies indeed, and they require a little bit of mastery to understand how to kill them. But what I'm going to do is create some guide videos in which I go over different builds for the game, and it is in those videos that I'll explain more about the different enemies, what happens at different points in time during a run, and of course also how to take on the bosses. So I hope you enjoyed this short guide. Thank you so much for watching, and come on back if you want to see some more build guides for how to beat the game effectively. Take care, everybody. Now, if you want to stick around, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to give up and quit. So what happens after you die is you get a certain amount of meta currency for how long you survived. You get a certain amount of meta currency depending on how many enemies you've killed, and you get a certain amount of meta currency depending on what level you reach. So you always make some progress toward unlocking new characters and stuff, even if you don't get very far. Like here, we got, if I remember correctly, you know, a big chunk of the currency needed, for example, to unlock a new character or a new gun, or even to get some runes.